Okay, one more obstacle for the life purpose, I mean to live life, to fulfill one's life purpose, is financial fears. Like, people don't know how to manage financially all kinds of creative things. For example, you may say, okay, I know what I want, but I don't know how can I support my family if I just go and do what I want. But, you know, what I may say that according to quite many ancient and modern schools of thought, people who are around you are actually building your life. So we have to be careful who are that people. And I mean to say, we may easily speak or not speak too much with our neighbors, or even we can change our friends, but we can't change our parents and brothers and sisters. But even if your, let us say, parents or brothers and sisters are not supporting you, anyway, you may choose to communicate with them slightly less. I don't think that it's right, you know, to break relationship with the relatives, but you may choose to communicate with them much less. And you know what is clear, that when you grow, you have to be ready that you have to change your friends. It's always like that. And for many people it's extremely painful, because we like our friends, sometimes we know them for years, but if you start to grow, you have to be ready that some of your friends will join you in that process of evolution, and some friends will not. And they're also good people. I'm not going to say that they are kind of bad guys. No, they are very good people. They're not ready to be creative the way you are ready to be. And it means to overcome this obstacle, which is, okay, what other people think and speak about you. Well, okay, you have to be ready to change your friends.
Relationship with them.
Relationship, yeah. You don't need to make a scandal. You don't need to, you know, to create any bad mood. But you may just less and less communicate with the people who are not ready for the new. And also, if we'll speak about financial doubts, for me it's a very important and fundamental, actually breakthrough idea that, you know, if you look around in your city or town and say, okay, the most rich people who are, and then fill up the blank, yeah? Maybe they make this kind of business or that kind of business, but it doesn't mean that this relates to you, because, well, your personal possibilities, financial possibilities, now we're speaking about money, are always the greatest one, always according with your talents. That's a universal global law, and we just have to trust it. I mean, logically speaking, you can say, well, people who are, you know, in different countries, different actually kinds of business, well, in some places like oil and gas, and some people real estate, and in some countries like, you know, lawyers, medical doctors. By the way, in some countries lawyers are not so rich, and medical doctors sometimes can be poor in some countries. But it's nothing to do with you, because whatever your talents are, exactly in this area, you, personally you, have maximum of potential income. And just you have to think how to make a plan, how to make steps.
So the life purpose is definitely related to talents, our talents.
Life purpose related to a few things. First of all, your talents. Maybe not first of all, but just one of the things is a talent. Another one is a service to people. And when I speak about service to people, okay, some small example is like that. You can just walk down the street and see very old person, and you just help to this very old person to go from this part of the street to another one. Okay, this is a service. Or if you just walk down the street and you see some garbage, okay, you can just clean it and walk your way. But I'm speaking about high level of service. How can you serve really? And all the high level service is always connected, it's always about your talent. So that means one way is to ask yourself, okay, what is my talent? But for some people it's easy question, for some other people it's complicated question. But okay, you can ask another way. Okay, how can I serve to the people, like, really high level service? It can be education, it can be medical care, it can be developing new engine, I don't know, new technology, new art, but high level service. Yeah, that's also a thing. And one more slightly difficult to grasp, but anyway, if you do something, if you live your life according to your life purpose, it's going to be always leadership. So leadership is there. And if you see the people who are really creative, they're always leaders. Leaders doesn't mean that you have to work with the millions, sometimes with a few people. Good teacher in the school, in the college, professor, always leader, if it is real professor. Very good journalist, always leader. So, normally we have a picture like political leaders, but sometimes it can be, much wider. So it means talents, service, leadership.
And one thing more, I think, evolution. Life purpose is connected with evolution.
Okay,
yes.
For sure, your life purpose is one of the most important tools for your spiritual divine evolution. And I think that it's a really Indian mistake that they sometimes say, quite many Indian masters, that okay, evolution means meditation. But it's not always like that. So it's like two main tools. Yeah, meditation must be there. Without meditation, not possible to grow spiritually. But it must be something like creativity. Actually, your life purpose is creativity. The wonderful English word, wonderful modern English term like creativity, to be creative. That's exactly what it's about. That's about your life purpose. And that's like, meditation and prayer from one side, and you have to add creativity or life purpose. Then together it's real spiritual evolution. And in the modern literature there are many quite simple advices how to analyze yourself and then see your life purpose. For example, kind of simple question and sometimes difficult answer. What can you ready to do even if nobody will pay? I mean to say, just imagine that your grandfather was multimillionaire and he just gave you whatever you need. You don't need to worry about money. What I really wish to do, even if nobody will pay. That's, just imagine. Then the next simple question, which is simple and great, when you do something and you experience joy, you forget about time. What is that? Because normally when we touch our life purpose, we just experience joy and we forget about time. And some people may give strange answers. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like to play sport, I like to travel. Then first of all, you have to think again and again. Maybe you're just tired in the office and that's the reason why you like to travel, just to take rest. But just imagine that already you're not in the office. If you still say, okay, I like to travel, who knows, maybe that's your life purpose and your business can be connected with that. It can be whatever, people travel all over the world and do many things like tourist business. They do research work, cultural research work in different parts of the world. It's just sometimes you can be near your life purpose, experience joy, but just that you have to locate it properly. And a few more questions which are very interesting actually. Just imagine that you will die in 12 months. Of course, if you will imagine that, maybe your best friends or best relatives, your family members will be number one with whom you want to spend time with. But at the same time, in that imaginary situation, you can just think, okay, like all the trivial things which I'm doing, it's not important. If I'm going to die in 12 months, I have to complete this, this and this. And that is life purpose. When people are dying, it's a huge resource of information. A lot of research was done. Even if people are extremely rich, they're never proud about this. They never think about what kind of bank account they have if they just tomorrow will die. But they still always think about great spiritual and creative achievements they have. That's also the possible approach.